Hi, beautiful soul. This is day 22 of 100 Days to Emotional Power. I'm Dr. Jasmine, and today I want to sit with you for a while and talk about something that many high achievers quietly struggle with, which is being criticized for the very habits that make them successful. There are people who are extraordinary in their field, athletes who train daily with strict routines, researchers who spend long hours reading and refining their work, entrepreneurs who wake up early, track numbers, review strategy, and say no to distractions. Artists who practice for hours when nobody is watching, and almost all of them share something in common. They have habits that outsiders often call obsession. They have routines that others label extreme. They have standards that make some people uncomfortable. And sometimes the most painful part is not the hard work, it is the commentary. It is the jokes at family dinners. It is the subtle criticism from friends. It is the eye rolling when you leave early to sleep because you wake up at 5. It is the teasing when you bring your own food to stay consistent with your nutrition plan. It is the comment that says you're addicted when what you really are is disciplined. I want to slow this down and look at it honestly. Imagine a young woman building her career as a lawyer. She reads case studies on weekends. She listens to legal podcasts while driving. She reviews her notes at night instead of watching TV. Her friends say you need to relax. Her cousins laugh and say you are married to your job. But 5 years later, she's a partner in her firm. That so-called addiction was focus. The name is focus rather than addiction. Or imagine a man training for a marathon. He declines late night outings because he protects his sleep. He measures his food. He runs in cold weather. His co-workers joke, "You're crazy." But on a race day, he finishes strong because his routine carried him there. Or think of a medical student who studies consistently while others cram at the last minute. Family members say, "You study too much." Yet when results come out, the steady student succeeds. If you look carefully at people who excel in any serious field, you will see repetition, you will see structure, you will see habits that are practiced long after motivation fades. These are not random behaviors, they are constructed behaviors. They were built intentionally. They required saying no when it was easier to say yes. They required staying home when others went out. They required waking up when others slept. That is not weakness, that is strength. So why do people criticize? Sometimes it is projection. Your discipline highlights their inconsistency. Your struggle reminds them of goals they postponed. Your progress confronts their comfort. Instead of adjusting themselves, it feels easier to label you extreme. Sometimes it is misunderstanding. Not everyone values growth in the same way. If someone prioritizes comfort, your sacrifice looks unnecessary. If someone values spontaneity, your structure looks restrictive. But values are personal, and your ambition does not require collective approval. Now let's make this very practical because this is where emotional power is tested. Suppose your family constantly says you work too much. Instead of arguing, you can respond calmly, "I am building something important to me." Then stop. If you ask me, I say even don't answer. You should give no long defense, no debate, short, steady. If friends mock your reading habit, keep reading. 10 pages a day becomes 12 books a year. If colleagues tease your preparation, continue preparing. Preparation builds authority quietly. If people laugh at your gym routine, continue training. Your long-term health is worth more than short-term approval. At the same time, stay self-aware. Ask yourself honestly, is this habit strengthening my life or harming it? Am I neglecting my health, my integrity, or essential relationships? If the habit builds skill, health, financial stability, or knowledge, it is constructive. Be proud of it. Pride here is not arrogance, it is ownership. You worked hard to build that discipline. You resisted distraction. You stayed consistent. That deserves respect, especially from yourself. Here are concrete tools to handle criticism. First, reduce overexposure. You don't need to share every goal with everyone. Protect early stages of growth. Second, build aligned community. Join a group of runners if you train. Join a professional network if you build a business. When you surround yourself with people who value discipline, your habits feel normal. Number 3, practice calm repetition. Each time someone criticizes, respond consistently and briefly. Over time, people adjust to the standard you set. Number 4, track results privately. Keep a journal of progress. When external validation is low, internal evidence must be high. Number 5, remember that seasons of intensity are normal. Building something meaningful often requires temporary imbalance. This is not forever, it is temporary. It is not dysfunction, it is focus. Imagine an entrepreneur in the early stage of a startup. For 2 years, weekends are work days. Vacations are rare, social life is limited, friends may drift away. But if the vision is clear and the behavior is aligned, that focused season can create long-term freedom. The mistake would be quitting because others feel uncomfortable. There is a difference between destructive addiction and constructive devotion. Destructive habits erode your health and integrity. Constructive habits expand your capacity. Learn to tell the difference and then stand firmly in the constructive ones. Do not shrink your standards to reduce other people's discomfort. Often the same people who question you now will admire you later. But you cannot wait for their future approval to justify your present discipline. Be steady, be quiet, be consistent. When criticism comes, breathe. Evaluate it calmly. Criticism is not your enemy. Keep what is useful, release what is projection, and continue. Because the habits you build today are building the life you will live tomorrow. Remember, this is not about proving anyone wrong. No, it's about honoring your own potential. You're allowed to be serious about your goals. You're allowed to care deeply. You're allowed to repeat behaviors that move you forward. The world may call it obsession. You can call it commitment. And commitment, practiced daily, becomes excellence. I repeat it because it's very important. Commitment, practiced daily, becomes excellence. If you liked this talk and it felt familiar in your life, please like, share, and subscribe for friendly talks. Drop your ideas, questions, and comments down below. I would love to hear from you. See you in the next video.